Alright, so today I wanted to do a quick video on how to clean and lubricate a BRN-180 Gen 2 upper and a FM wrench rifle lower, but it turned into a how to not video, sort of. As always, safety is first and we have to clear the weapon. Once cleared, we can begin with disassembly. Disassembly is similar to an AR-15. The rifle is held together by 2 takedown pins. The recoil block and guide rods must be removed from the rear of the upper receiver. These tend to pop out by themselves, a feature that was removed in the 3rd iteration of this upper. To remove the bolt, we have to pull the bolt back to reach this cutout where the bolt handle can come out. Once removed, the bolt can just come out. To perform maintenance on the gas system, you have to remove the screw here and persuade the handguard off the receiver. The handguard should just slide out, but I put this brake that's a bit too wide, which is fine. You can still reach the gas system if this happens. It's just a little annoying to work on, but it's doable. I'll be using this new Lucas CLP I bought, and this is part of the reason why I had so many headaches making this video. First, we'll clean out the gas system. This upper uses a short stroke gas piston system, and it's known for its reliability and that you don't need to clean it as much, which isn't true. To disassemble the gas system, first you remove this pin at the very front of the gas block. Once done, the rest of the assembly should just be able to come back and out, and you can cam it out of the way. But this didn't happen. The gas block was stuck because I didn't clean the gun enough. Luckily, the rest of the assembly was able to be cammed out. To remove the stuck gas block, I had to hammer it out with a brass rod and CLP. Once disassembled, I soaked the parts in CLP and let them sit for a while. After a couple of minutes, I came back and started wiping these parts off. Reapply CLP as necessary. You will want these parts to be clean and dry, especially the gas block. Any leftover CLP will just get burnt off and leave more residue. With the handguard off, take this opportunity to clean the outside of the barrel and leave a light coating of CLP. Make sure to clean the openings where the guide rods go through the receiver. I found some rust here. As you'll see, this can of Lucas CLP has a leak. I originally thought it was because of how I was spraying and I wasn't keeping the can upright, but no matter what I did, the nozzle from the back would just keep leaking. I ended up getting my entire map and my rags just coated in CLP, which made it difficult to dry parts out when I put too much lubricant on them. I'm not going to blame the shortcomings of this tutorial on this product, but it didn't help. Another mistake I made in this video is that I didn't clean the gas block enough. It should just slide back into the port. This may be an issue with the gun itself, but in the future I will clean the gas system more often. That being said, the reassembly for this video is botched. I had to hammer the gas block back in place and put the rest of the assembly back in piece by piece. Brownells has a much better tutorial that I've linked in the description if you want to see how this gas system is supposed to be put back together. And make sure to not forget the clip at the very end, like I did. To clean the inside of the receiver, I recommend a brush. It's kind of hard to clean otherwise. As for the inside of the receiver, don't be like me and forget to use CLP to clean this part out. This may look clean, but it probably still has some baked on carbon in there that only CLP or solvent can really break apart. Make sure to clean the chamber out well and wipe away any of the excess oil. Brownells recommends to use a standard AR-15 chamber brush. The bolt carrier group is very similar to an AR-15. Once you remove this pin, the firing pin, the cam pin, and the bolt can be removed. This bolt carrier group has a couple of openings for the guide rods, and these need to be cleaned out. I have a brass scraping tool that can fit into the hole with a cloth to mop out all of the carbon. You don't need this. A cleaning rod or some pipe cleaners will work just fine. To reassemble the bolt carrier group, you first put the bolt and spring back in, and then the cam pin. Thankfully, the bolt and cam pin can only go one way. Once done, you can rotate the cam pin until the firing pin goes in all the way through the carrier, and then reinstall the cotter pin. Moving on to the lower, I emailed Foxtrot Mike on how to clean this lower because they don't have any posted documents on how to, and they told me just to clean it like an AR-15. So here I'm just going to give it a very light coating of oil on all the moving parts, like the hammer, the catch, the springs, and the trigger disconnect. When manipulating the trigger and hammer, on pretty much any disassembled firearm, you need to be extremely careful and not pull the trigger and let the hammer fall onto the receiver. This will damage your gun. So whenever you pull the trigger, make sure that you hold pressure on the hammer and gently guide the hammer forward so that it doesn't land on the receiver with the full force of the spring. To reassemble the upper is pretty easy. Just put the bolt carrier group back into the rear of the receiver and align the BCG with the cutout for the handle. Reinstall the handle and then put your recoil block guide rod and spring assembly back into the rear of the receiver. Then reattach the lower and the upper with the takedown pins. To lubricate the upper, Brownells recommends applying 1 or 2 drops of oil on the guide rods, the cam pin, and the bolt body. They state to lubricate all moving parts, which include the bolt carrier, and adding some lubricant to the inside of the receiver doesn't hurt. And again, please be sure to wipe dry the gas system parts, especially the gas block and cup.